Welcome to Bragg Radio, leading the world to be rich and generous. For the next hour, best-selling real estate investing author Larry Goins and co-host Kandas will help show you the many ways real estate creates the ideal investment. Whether you want to flip houses or become a passive investor making double-digit returns while others do all the work, you'll learn how on Bragg Radio, leading the world to be rich and generous. Here are your hosts, Larry and Kandas.
Hey, how are you?
What's happening? Welcome to the radio.
Welcome to the radio.
Welcome to the show. Bragg Radio. I feel like we need to talk about this a lot in the sense of what is Bragg, because we still get people that say, Bragg, what the heck kind of name is that?
Somebody was in the office the other week.
Yeah.
We had to explain it, so let's do that. This is Bragg Radio.
Bragg Radio.
Investing in real estate, leading the world to be rich and generous.
That's what Bragg stands for, be rich and generous.
Both are important to us.
Yeah, we want to help you get rich, get you some money, and then we want to help you, encourage you.
Give it away.
to not give it all away.
No, but you can only use so much.
That's true. That is true. But we want people to be able to help others.
Right.
Right?
Right. With time and money. It doesn't just have to be money. Time
and we have a lot of students out there.
Well.
We have a lot of students out there that are helping others.
We do.
But we have some that they're just not quite there yet. And it's okay.
Well, you got to take care of yourself first. Everybody understands you got to get your house in order.
That's a good point. That's a really good point. But I learned something a long, long time ago, Kandas.
What'd you learn?
It's a lot easier to flip a dime out of a dollar as a charity or tithing or donating than it is to wait till you have $1 million and try to donate $100,000.
A lump sum, yeah.
So we'd best start you when the amounts are small, right?
Yeah.
So I don't care where you are, how much money you have, or how much money you don't have. You need to start being generous right away. We can help you with the rich part. Mm-hmm. We just can't make you be generous, but we're going to encourage you and shame you into it if we can.
And not just with money, with time too. A lot of people just need a helping hand with stuff. What's happening over there with you?
My headphones were on backwards.
With stuff. Now you got me freaking out. Am I on backwards? No.
No, yours are okay.
Mine are fine. But with time as well, it's not just all about, giving money or doing something like that, but spending time and actually watching the difference that you can make in somebody's life. I like that.
And there's
part.
a lot of different things. I mean, right here in Charlotte, you have Veterans Path Up, right?
Yep. Purple Heart Homes is here close too.
Exactly. Purple Heart Homes and Veterans Path Up are two organizations that help specifically veterans. Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's good. We have a lot of people that are donating and working with them and helping them as well. And so are we.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So good. So what are we going to talk about today?
Well, we've got
on the show as it pertains to real estate.
We've got a week left. So I think maybe
you better explain. We have a week left. What does that mean? We're going off the air?
I was trying to get to it. Thank you, though. Don't freak out. Nobody's going off the air. We have a week left until the Charlotte 3-day event.
Oh,
dun, dun,
okay.
dun.
Good.
The Charlotte 3-day event is August 4th, 5th, and 6th. And so...
and that's where we're going to be teaching and training real estate for 3 full days.
You will be. I just aggravate you from the back of the room.
Well, and you do a very good job at that, whether it's at the back of the room or not.
Oh, well. I can't say I don't, because I do.
That's true.
Everybody that's been there knows this.
That's true. And they usually take your side on everything.
That's true.
That is true. All right, go ahead. What are we doing?
So I think that, we've had some questions come in about everything that's covered at the 3-day. So I wanted to spend a little bit of time and talk about the topics of that. I mean, we've got a whole rash of stuff that we can list out.
I don't want to just talk about topics. Give me a topic and I'll do some edumacating while we're here.
All right, well,
how about that?
Do you want to pick one of the whole?
No, it doesn't matter. You just, what are some of the things that people are asking about as far as, do you teach this or do you teach that?
Negotiating, analyzing, locating, making offers.
Wow.
It's pretty
That's
much
good.
like it's, you start out with locating, look a little bit at analyzing, negotiate it, and then start making your offers. Any suggestion as to the order those should be in?
Yes,
I know we cover all four of them.
I absolutely do have a suggestion.
What's
the number one is analyzing a deal, okay? That's the number one. Before you can be a real estate investor, you've got to know how to analyze a deal.
However, that we need to throw a side note in here, because don't get paralysis of analysis with your analyzation, or you won't ever get to making an offer. Ooh,
say
she
that
comes
again?
back. Look at that. Look at that.
Don't get paralysis of analysis with your analyzation.
Yes.
Is analyzation a word? Look that up, Lynn. Analyzation?
So what
That's
it
not a
means
word.
is, let me break it down for you.
I'm
let me break it down.
going to add that to my Kandasisms. I'm going to add that to my
Go
Kandasisms.
Go ahead.
Last week or two, it was slown.
Slowing down.
It's slowing down.
Anyway. Let me break it down for you. So don't get so marred up in a funk over analyzing something that you don't actually ever make an offer or call anybody to try to negotiate something.
That sounds like my terminology.
Oh,
Marred up in a funk.
I thought you'd understand.
I could relate to it anyway, right?
I thought you'd understand that whole phrase a lot better than the way that I put it.
Good. So analyzing, let's say you're wholesaling a deal, okay? You need to know what is a deal, okay? In order for you to be able to make an offer on a house, you need to know two things. That's all. Two things. That's it. You need to know what is the ARV. First, you need to know what is ARV. ARV means after repaired value. What's the property going to be worth once it gets fixed up, right?
Mm-hmm.
ARV, or after repaired value, right?
You got to know that,
And you got to know the amount of repairs, all right? Let's say that you're talking to an agent or whoever, or you're pulling comps, and the comps say the property is going to be worth 100 to 120.
If any of these terms don't make sense to y'all, you need to go ahead and sign up for the Charlotte 3-day event. And then you may want to go ahead and hit our website for a glossary of terms.
Yeah, they can call Macy or go to the website and sign up for the event, right?
Yeah. But go ahead and get those things squared away, because a lot of these terms will be thrown around at the 3-day event. And we've had somebody before that was brand spanking new and was kind of confused with the terms and the lingo and the jargon that was thrown around with some of the acronyms and the abbreviations and things. So
terms and lingo and jargon?
Yeah.
Oh, what's the difference?
It's all the same. Just
okay.
Whoever catches one of those 3 words is going to mean the same thing.
Okay. You're trying to appeal to all the
masses. Why are you picking
masses.
on me so bad this week? We just got started. This is the first segment.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Would you forgive me?
No.
All right, so let's talk about
see
analyzing.
how the rest of the show goes.
You
take
the ARV. Let's say the agent says it's 100 to 120. You're going to use 100, okay? And then, and I said a minute ago, comps. That's comparable sales. What are other similar houses selling for in the area? Not for sale, but selling for in the area, okay? And then you take that times 0.7, 70%. And let's say it's 100 times 0.7, it gives you 70,000. Let's say the repairs they say are 5 to 10,000. Now I'm going to use the high end on the repairs, so I use 10. Right, Kandas?
Right.
So I use 10,000 on the repairs. So I take 70 minus 10, that brings me down to 60. And what do you want to make as a wholesale profit? Let's say you want to make $15,000, okay, wholesaling this property. So 60 minus 15 is 45, right? So 45 is going to be what I can pay for that property. If I pay 45, I can add 15 to it and sell it for 60. The person buying it from me is going to put 10 in repairs, and they'll have 70 in it, and it's worth 100. That's a 30% equity deal. Doesn't mean they're going to make 30%, but it's a 30% equity deal, right?
So analyze first, then what's next of those 4 things?
Okay, by the way, all I went over was just wholesaling. We're going to go over analyzing a rental property, a seller finance property, a fix and flip property, as well as into much more detail on a wholesaling type deal as well, right?
At the 3-day, right?
Exactly.
Right. You spend a lot of time on analyzing depending on what the exit strategy is for the property.
That's exactly right. That's
Yep.
exactly right. Now, the next step in chronological order would be to build your buyer's list, okay?
I didn't say that.
I'm just going in chronological order, okay? That's all. You didn't say that, but I'm sure it's on there somewhere.
It's on there.
It is now.
Order. Well, it was on there, but I'll write it in order.
So the next thing we need to do is build our buyer's list, especially if you're going to day trade, like getting started in real estate day trading. Call Macy and get the book, 877-LARRY-GO. And you can get a free copy of the book. She can sign you up for the 3-day. Now, when we come back in our next segment, I'm going to show you some specific ways you can start building your buyer's list right away. We'll be right back right after these important messages.
Welcome back to Bragg Radio. This is Kandas here with Larry. When we left you guys from the last segment, Larry was just getting into building a buyer's list, second step after being able to analyze a property for ARV and amount of repairs to know what you could pay for it and what you could sell it for.
Exactly. And especially if you are wholesaling, a buyer's list is your most valuable asset, even more than having money.
Well, you need to be able to sell it quick because some attorneys will allow you to close with your buyer's money.
That's true. It's called a simultaneous closing, which is another thing we're going to go into detail as well at our upcoming 3-day.
And you want an attorney like that.
That's right. It's called an investor-friendly attorney and or title company, depending on what state or country you're listening to this in, because we're all over the place, right?
We're all over.
Yeah. So anyway, building your buyer's list. What you want to do is when you get a good property under contract at a deep, deep discount and you want to turn around and assign that contract or sell it or wholesale it to a fix and flipper or a landlord or something like that, you need to have a buyer's list that you can start marketing to right away, right?
In a snap, right away.
Yeah, so you can put that property out to your buyer's list and you can generate some activity and create a buying frenzy and scarcity and a sense of urgency. Okay.
They like that. We just got an email back. We've been pushing out a couple properties that, to our buyers list, and we just got an email back, and he was so grateful that he had been able to align with somebody that actually does deals like what they teach they do, and that pushes out good properties so their students can invest in them as well. Are you trying to pull it up?
You're absolutely right. I'm going to pull up that email.
You're trying to pull it up, aren't you?
Because it was really cool. I got to get on the internet here.
You can't get it. We're in the dungeon today. I don't know if you'll have a signal.
I may not.
I can't get out on my phone.
Are you serious? Are you complaining?
I am.
Right now?
Well, they stick us down here in the dark, in the back, in the closet.
In the corner in the dark. I can pull it up on my phone.
2 weeks now we've been, or 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
This is really
Seems like
cool.
We've been down here a long time.
This is from Joseph, one of our students, and he sent an email, and I actually sent it out to the entire team.
I saw that.
Because it's really good for our team members to realize that we really are making a difference in people's lives. Mm-hmm. He says, Mr. Goins and team. He don't have to call me Mr. Goins. I'm Larry, all right?
I don't call you Mr. Goins.
Oh, how well I You have a lot of names for me, but Mr. Goins is not one of them, right?
You haven't heard all of them.
I'm sure I haven't. So
anyway.
He says, I can't thank you enough for actually doing what you say you're going to do. You're the real, and real is all caps, you're the real deal without all the hoops to jump through and other nonsense like that. I've never, and that's in all caps, had a guru, that's me, I guess. I've never had a guru throw good property deals to their patrons. I guess that's him, right? I love it. You have my full attention. Finally, someone I can trust and count on. Thank you, Joseph. That was awesome, wasn't it?
It's great. I love getting emails like that.
That really is cool. So, let's get back to the buyer's list, okay?
Okay, building the buyer's list.
Yeah, if you're going to wholesale property, you need a good buyer's list, okay? A couple of things you can do to start building your buyer's list is, number one, you want to join your local real estate investors association, okay? There's one here in Charlotte, Metrolina RIA, as well as whatever city you're in. There should be a group. You can also look for meetup groups. Go to meetup.com and type in real estate investing in or real estate, and you'll find some local meetup groups wherever you live and whatever is the closest city to you, and go to their meetings and network with those people, okay? So you want to go to the local RIA group first, okay? And also the second way you can build your buyer's list is to run ads on Craigslist. Craigslist is huge, all right? You can even post a property. You don't even have to have a property, all right? Just find a picture of a property like a fixer-upper and put an ad there. It says fixer-upper, handyman special, cheap, cash, get on my buyer's list. And when they call about the property, all you have to do is say, sorry, that property is no longer available. Let me get your contact info and I'll put you on my buyer's list. Are you a cash buyer? Do you need financing? How much money do you have to work with? Are you a landlord? Are you fix and flipper? Are you looking to sell or finance deals? What are you doing? What are you looking for? Right?
Right.
So that's 2 great ways right there.
And you go into a lot more. You go into some more detail about all the verbiage that you put in the different ads based on what you're trying to find buyers for, what you're selling.
Exactly. There's a lot of stealth ways you can build your buyers list too.
Yeah.
For example,
well, don't get into it too much because you got to go. We want them to come to the 3-day.
Yeah, well, we do want them to come to the 3-day, but let me just share this one more idea and then we'll move on.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
So this one way is you can actually pull a list of non-owner occupied buyers in certain areas, like wherever you're buying and making offers on properties.
Mm-hmm.
You can pull buyers, or not buyers, but you can pull owners that own property in the area, but they don't live in that area. They're called non-owner occupants. And those are typically landlords or sometimes fix and flip investors.
Right.
So you do direct mail to them and you get them on your buyer's list. Okay. You just send out a postcard to them, or you can actually, a lot of them have a company name,
right,
like XYZ Investments, LLC. You just look up at the Secretary of State and you find out who is the owner of that business, and then you send them a letter or look up their phone number or call them. Is
it the owner that shows up or the registered agent for it?
It's the registered agent,
That's
which most of the time it is the owner or
right,
somebody who knows the owner.
Right.
Like you're a registered agent on some of our stuff.
Some of it, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's another thing you can do. At the event, I'm going to tell you how you can even get their email addresses as well.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's good. So that's the second thing you should do, right? So we've got analyzing, and then we have building their buyers list.
Right.
And the third thing that you should do to get started right away is to line up your funding, line up your money. All right? That's the third thing you should do. Now, a lot of people say it takes money to make money. Well, I will agree with you. But the good thing is it doesn't have to be your money.
Doesn't make more, right?
It doesn't have to be your money. We did a deal a while back where we bought a house for $350,000 and we sold it for $395,000. We made $45,000 and we had $500 put up. That's it. That's all we had invested was $500. And we closed on it. We did what's called a simultaneous closing, and I'll show you how to do that at the event. We'll go into detail about it.
With investor-friendly attorneys.
With investor-friendly attorneys or title companies.
Mm-hmm.
We'll show you what to do and how to do it. And where we basically used our buyer's money to pay our seller, and we got our $45,000. The biggest deal we've ever done like that, on a wholesale type deal, we bought a house one time for $700,000. It was actually in Pensacola, Florida. We did that deal in Pensacola, Florida. We got it under contract for $700,000. We put up a $500 deposit, and we basically assigned that contract for $775,000. So we made $75,000 on that one deal. All we had put up was a $500 deposit. And we're going to go into all the other different ways to close and fund and all that stuff at the 3-day event. But that's the third thing you need to do is line up your money or learn how to close where you don't need money. We're going to go into things like using a newly formed LLC, all right, to assign non-assignable contracts. We're going to go into using land trust, okay, to be able to do this as well and change the beneficial interest. And none of this is going to require any more than about $500 to get you started, right?
Right.
So we're going to go over private money, hard money, cash partners, credit card partners. We're going to go over business lines of credit, how to get business lines of credit. We'll show you specific sources and ways to do that. So what you need to do is call Macy. Macy is waiting by her phone right now. She's just waiting on you to call. So call Macy, 877-LARRY-GO, and she's going to give you an investor kit, free investor's kit. It'll have a couple copies of my book, couple DVDs. If you come by the office, you get a physical copy, right, Kandas?
Right, yeah. If you come for an office tour, you can get a physical copy of the investor's kit. If you aren't close enough, then just ask her to send you the digital copy of that. And like Larry said, it's got a couple different books in it, some DVDs, CDs, a couple other goodies and things like that. But I would really suggest you come by for the office tour to get the physical version of it. It's got some different stuff in it. And then let her get you registered for the Charlotte 3-day event. That's next weekend, the 4th, 5th, and 6th. Give her a call, 877-LARRY-GO. We'll be right back. Hey, we're back. And I'm ready.
Awesome. And I'm not. I'm breaking the momentum.
We don't have any momentum on this show.
Yeah, apparently.
We don't. We don't.
Good.
I'm not going to try to hide it.
So we're talking about real estate investing, Brag Radio, be rich and generous.
Yep.
We're going to teach you how to invest in real estate so you can make a lot of money, and then we're going to encourage you to give it away and help others. That's where Brag comes from.
Give away your money and your time.
I feel like I need to explain that every segment.
Well, I mean, we might until, the verge gets some momentum of its own, and then people start telling other people.
That's good.
Instead of us splaining it all the time.
That's good. So we've talked about on this show so far, we talk about some of the most important things that you need to know as a real estate investor.
Well, what we're also doing is letting people know, because next weekend we've got the Charlotte 3-day event, some of the topics that we go over while we're at the 3-day event.
That's a really good point.
That's what started it.
So we've talked so far about analyzing, about building your buyer's list, and about lining up your money.
Right.
Correct?
Right.
Good. So what are some other things that I'm going to teach at the event?
Let's see. Negotiating, making offers.
Negotiating. That's a big topic right there. Guys, I'm a firm believer you need to be a good negotiator to be a good real estate investor. Okay? But a good script helps you fake it till you make it. I'm going to show you specific scripts and things that you can use so you can fake it till you make it as well. But in addition to that, I'm going to show you a lot of different ways where you can make offers and not even have to talk to people. But in negotiating, remember, let me give you a couple of quick tips right here, and then we'll move on to another topic, okay, that we're going to teach. But in negotiating, the person who cares the least wins, right? You don't want to act over anxious. In fact, you don't want to act anxious at all. And it's also a good idea to try to make the phone ring so you're more in control when they call you, right? As opposed to you prospecting and reaching out to others. And we're going to talk about marketing and prospecting as well at the event. That's a whole nother topic we're going to talk about, right? So in negotiating, remember, the person who cares the least wins, right? And the key on your very first phone call when you're starting to call maybe a seller or a realtor is to get them to like you and trust you and leave the door open so either they can call you back or you can call them back. Okay? That's the key to that. You're not going to buy it over the phone on the first phone call, right?
You can make an offer, but you won't buy it.
Yeah, you must make an offer on the first phone call. See, so many people are so scared to make an offer on their first phone call. But I'm a firm believer, if you're not making an offer, it's just a conversation. That's it. It's just a conversation if you're not making an offer, right?
Right.
So you got to make an offer. You got to get that number out on your first phone call. And you also need to what's called price condition your seller, right? Like we have a couple of lines like, I'm looking at a couple of houses, and although I like yours better, the other one makes more sense. I mean, you've basically just told them in a nice way, hey, you're asking too much for your house. I can get a better deal down the street. And it's all about the numbers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So there's a lot of ways. I'm going to give you a lot of negotiating one-liners and things that you can use and things you can say and scripts and all that good stuff. Whether you're talking with a seller or a realtor, it doesn't really matter. We're going to go through a lot of those in detail. Like when you get the agent on the phone, agents, a lot of times they'll come back, and I love agents. We work with a lot of agents, and they love us because we do what we say we're going to do and close deals.
Right.
In fact, that's one of the things I tell them. Hey, you're going to love working with us. We do what we say we're going to do, and we actually close deals. So I love working with agents, but sometimes you'll get an agent on the phone and they'll say, oh, this is such a great deal. It won't last. You better grab it right now. The very first thing I say to them is, if it's such a good deal, why haven't you bought it? Right?
Mm-hmm.
It lets them know that, hey, you can't be sold, basically, right? You can't be sold. So those are a few negotiating things that we're going to talk about. We're also going to go into depth in marketing as well, right?
Yeah, you do marketing and prospecting.
Yeah, and there's two kinds of lead gen, and that's marketing and prospecting. Marketing is basically anything that makes the phone ring, right? You put an ad somewhere, you post something on Facebook, on a Facebook group, which
send
is
out
one
direct mail.
Send out direct mail. Although we don't do much direct mail, not
Right
any
now.
right now.
Yeah.
We have in the past, and we probably will in the future. But right now, we got to get a lot of properties on HUD and MLS and other sources as well. Students bring us deals from time to time too, which is good, right? So anyway, marketing is basically anything that makes the phone ring, or they come to your website. Like one of our websites is investorsrehab.com. Another one is larrybuysHouses.com. Another one is Gabby Buys Houses. We have multiple websites where we can have people come to the website and opt in to submit their property so we can potentially buy their property from them. Right? So there's a lot of different ways you can make the phone ring or get people to opt in where you can call them. In fact, it's Saturday afternoon, and I'm looking here at my phone, and I've got 2 things pop up where Landon, our rock star 17-year-old, he just updated 2 buyer leads on Saturday afternoon.
Awesome.
Yeah.
He's a go-getter, that Landon.
He'll be happy to hear you say that.
He knows I love him. I give him a hard time, but it's only helping him grow.
Yeah, that's true. It's tough love.
It is.
That's what you call it anyway.
Everybody in the office can say that they get that from me.
That is true, especially me.
Why does your face look like that when you say it?
It's the only one I got. I can't change it. It's the only one I got.
It doesn't always look like that.
But it was true what you just said.
It is tough love.
Okay, so prospecting is reaching out. It's where you're reaching somebody, not where you're doing marketing and they're calling you or they're emailing you. Prospecting is where maybe you see an ad on Craigslist, you see an ad on eBay or in the local paper, right?
Right.
So that's what prospecting is. So we're going to cover all that good stuff at the event. And we're basically going to show you, I don't care if you're brand new, we've got a lot of people that come to the event that are brand new. Maybe they couldn't spell real estate last week. Okay. Maybe not that bad, but I'm exaggerating, but you know what I mean. So they could barely spell real estate or could barely spell it, all the way to we've had people there that have already owned 300 or 400 houses. Right.
Right.
And those are the people that actually want us to work with them personally to help them get up and running and grow their business.
I would say it's a healthy mix of both. Some of the people that are just learning about real estate come in and they want to get close to us because they know we've been there, and they don't want to fall into the same things that we fell into in the beginning. So they'll align with us to be able to avoid those things. And then the people like you're talking about, they're looking to either kind of grow into what we've got going on with some more automation and different stuff like that, or just looking to scale a different way.
Right. It's kind of like Travis, one of our inner circle students, said one time. He said, because he was really excited because one of his deals that he did in his first 6 months was almost as much as he made in his full-time job when he had one.
Right. Right.
So he said having access to me is not only helping him with his deals, but it's helping him learn which ones not to do. Because sometimes the best deal you do is the one you turn down, right? Hello? You there?
I'm here.
Are you paying attention?
I was trying to help something over here.
You're ignoring me.
I'm not ignoring you. I have to multitask even on Saturdays.
Those are some things that we're going to learn at the event. We're also going to go over a lot more items at the event. We're going to go over every way to close and fund. We talked about that. Mm-hmm. Every way to close a deal, okay? We're going to go over asset protection and entity structuring. And please don't get overwhelmed with this. We've had people literally go from brand new, they're just looking for maybe extra income sources. Maybe they're thinking about maybe MLM. What's that called? MLM, network marketing.
Network marketing.
Yeah, I wanted to say multi-level marketing. Yeah, or network marketing. And some people are, just looking. Maybe you're thinking about a franchise. A lot of people have said this is like a non-franchise franchise, but they're on their own and they don't have to pay royalties forever. Once they learn it, it and it's over.
Right.
So call Macy. She'll get you signed up for our 3-day. And when we come back, we're going to go over all the other topics that we're going to cover at the event and a few of them in detail, right?
That's right. 877-LARRY-GO, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to Bragg Radio. After we had to find some music that Larry liked to come back into.
Hot for Teacher. I love this song. It's from 1984, right, Chad?
Yes.
And this is not a radio show. This
What?
is a...
That's not?
It's a radio show, but it's a real estate radio show.
It's a talk radio. Right, Chad?
So y'all
It's
are
not a
talking-
music show.
Music show. There we go.
Okay.
See, there it
Muzak
is.
show? Yeah.
Anyway.
It's not Dave TV.
That's right. Hey. Yeah. So, okay. So what are we talking about? We're talking about different topics you need to be successful, different items in real estate that you need to be successful. And I don't care where you are starting, right?
You don't care where they're starting, but these are also topics that
I do care where they're starting, but it doesn't matter where you're starting if you're brand new or whatever.
Yeah, you can help them get somewhere else. But the topics that we're covering are
Help them get somewhere else. I'm looking for Domino's.
help them
for Burger
advance
King.
to another level of real estate. But these topics are covered. That yes, they're important to help you get started or whatever. But they're covered at the 3-day event, along
It's
with
like orientation.
not really. You don't want it. I don't want it to sound like an orientation because there are people there that have been doing deals, a lot of deals, and they come and they leave.
You know,
with,
that's really true.
I don't like
because
orientation.
even at our last one, we went around the room and had people say, "What did you learn? What did you get out of it? You know, what's your aha moments? That sort of thing."
And what are you going to implement?
Yeah, what are you going to implement whenever you
They've all got something.
get home? Right?
Doesn't matter how many deals you've done, you'll pick something up. So I don't like calling it orientation.
Right.
It's I like the term General Assembly.
And I don't care if you've been to the event before or not. We've got totally new format, brand new-ish format, and
Totally brand new-ish.
Right.
We add some different stuff to every one of them.
We do, but this one is going to be different.
Is
We've got yes, it is. It's
should
going to be different. It's what we're doing and how we're doing it right now in today's market. What's working and what's not right now in today's market, right?
Right. And on the previous segments of the show, we talked about some things to get started kind of right away. And I know you go into these a lot more, and we were just getting into some other topics that you cover. At the 3-day event, we've talked about analyzing, building a buyer's list, lining up the money, negotiating. We started getting into a little bit about marketing and prospecting and how you talk about those. I know you talk about funding while we're there, too.
Oh, we talk a lot about funding and
business partners, like lining up lines of credit, business lines of credit, working with partners.
And a lot of people are scared, too, about, well, do I do this in my own name? Do I need a company? You know, we're going to show you all about asset protection and entity structuring, how to set up an LLC, what kind of LLC you need, how many do you need based on what you're doing. We're going to go into all that stuff at the event. It's going to be 3 full days of content-packed information and education based on 30-plus years of experience. Right, Kandas?
Yep, 30-plus.
30-plus years
All
of
your
experience. It's my 30.
It is
yeah.
your 30.
I bought my first house 31 years ago, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, so we're going to go over that. We're also, I know a lot of people, you know, Kandas, this is a big thing that we hear a lot of people say, I don't have time to do real estate. I don't have time. I work a full-time job. I got to feed my family. I got to pay the bills. So we're going to show you at this 3-day event how to bring other people in, how to use OPE, other people's efforts. Everybody talks about using OPM, other people's money, and we're going to show you how to do that too. But we're going to also show you how to use OPE, or other people's efforts, to help you do deals. We're going to show you how, whether or not you want an enterprise business or a lifestyle business and what the difference is. We're going to go over some automation, how to be very productive and have very little involvement. We're going to show you how to automate 92% of the processes, right? Mm-hmm. And then we're going to show you how to bring in virtual assistants, or VAs, for literally pennies on the dollar. You can hire a virtual assistant for $1 to $3 per hour to be able to help you in your business, whether it be to generate leads, to take calls, make offers on properties, analyze deals, you know, negotiate deals, submit bids on properties, whatever it is. They can a virtual assistant can literally do anything except paint your house, right? And that requires them to be there, not virtual, right?
Yeah, or raise your kids.
Or raise your kids. Now, why would that be the first thing you would mention?
I don't know that I would want that done virtually either.
That's true. Sometimes it is. It's called electronics.
No.
That's funny. But yeah, we're going to go through all that. And
we haven't really talked about looking at lease options, looking at seller financing, working with HUD. You do all of those things too.
Yes. We are going to talk about
happening right now.
We are going to talk about lease options, seller financing. We're going to show you how to create passive income, whether you want to be an active investor or a passive investor. We are going to help you. We're going to help you if you want to eventually quit your job, get out of your day job. If you want real estate to be a career for you, we're going to help you with that. If you would just rather write a check and get some passive income with equity built in so you don't have to worry about your 401k turning into a 101k, then we can help you with that as well, right? Mm-hmm. You know, one thing we haven't mentioned that we're going to talk about at the event.
There's probably multiple things that we are just forgetting right now that we actually talk about.
Oh, I'm sure. We're going to talk about how we run our business based on EOS. Mm-hmm, we're going to go into details about
our CRM too.
Oh, yeah. We're going to show you
automation,
how to automate your business. We're going to show you how to use websites and a CRM, customer relationship manager. We're also going to talk about self-directed retirement accounts, SDIRA.
Yeah,
you may not know this. You may not know this, but you can use a self-directed IRA account. That's what they're called, but it could be a 401k or a safe harbor 401k or solo 401k or IRA, traditional and Roth, or an ESA, education savings account. But you can buy real estate in those accounts. That's what we do. You can buy real estate. You can be a lender. We have a lot of people that we've helped to move their account, say from a Schwab or Fidelity or Wells Fargo or something, over to a real estate type of account, Safe Harbor 401k, not for Safe Harbor, but a SD, self-directed IRA. Yeah. And we even make recommendations of the ones that we know, like, and trust and have been using for many, many years. And then once you transfer that over, you could even be a lender. If you want to be a passive investor and you want to just fund some other investors' deals, you could do that. You could literally earn double-digit returns, right, Kandas?
That's right.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. So we're going to go over that as well, and we're going to go over using trust, right?
Right.
And I think I mentioned about LLCs and corporations. We're going to talk about dealer versus investor, because if you do too many deals in an entity, buy, sell, you are what's called a dealer, okay?
Right.
And it's taxed differently, right? And that's some of the other stuff we're going to go through, tax planning, right?
Right.
Tax planning. So, guys, call Macy and get set up to come to this 3-day. You'll get to spend 3 days with Kandas and I and our team. We're going to have some of our guys there. Ron's going to be there. David and Dean will be there. Mm-hmm. They're going to sit down with you one-on-one and create a map. So call Macy, 877-LARRY-GO, and she can answer any questions you might have, and she can let you know all about the event, right?
That's right. Yep. She can give you everything but the location until you register. Once you get registered, you'll get all of that information with the times of the event and things more specific. But she can give you general information until you get registered. She could also set you up for an office tour. And if you're coming in for the 3-day event, you could come in a day early or stay a day late and schedule an office tour while you're in the city. That's something that we've had a lot of students do as well. So you can pick up your investor's kit while you're in town. Give her a call, 877-LARRY-GO. Request the digital investor's kit if you're not close enough or you won't be able to make it to this event. If you are, go ahead and get scheduled for that office tour so you could pick up the physical version and get registered for the Charlotte 3-day event. We're looking forward to seeing you next week.
Thank you, Kandas, and thank you, Larry. Make sure to tune in again next Saturday as best-selling real estate investing author Larry Goins and co-host Kandas teach you the latest strategies and techniques the pros use to make money in real estate. It's Bragg Radio, leading the world to be rich and generous on News 1110 99.3 WBT.